Welcome to another edition of the Invisible Wheelchair Podcast. I'm Donald Grodoff, family coach with FamilyOCD.com and FocusedHealthyFamily.com. In the Invisible Wheelchair Podcast series, I delve into the hidden characteristics of OCD, anxiety, and anxiety disorders. The things that most people don't see, that are behind closed doors and shut within the mind about anxiety. My goal with these podcasts is to bring about awareness of obsessive-compulsive disorder, or OCD. Understand that I am not a doctor, therapist, or counselor, and the content, information, resources, and ideas that are talked about and brought up here in these podcasts are things that I have used, discovered, or have been recommended to me, and I always recommend to seek additional professional help in finding solutions for yourself. Thank you for listening and enjoy the podcast. This podcast was recorded August 31st, 2017. This is a special podcast especially made for this week of October 8th through the 14th, which is OCD week. You know, when I work with clients, I always talk to them about the awareness factor, how important it is to first become aware of what the situation is, what the issue is, what the stuff is that they might be going through. Because it's in awareness that we can see it and work with it. And that's really what this week is about, the week of October 8th through the 14th, OCD week. It's about bringing about awareness to the world. It's very key that we bring about this awareness to the world, to let the world know what OCD truly is. It's about anxiety. And that's really what the Invisible Wheelchair Podcast is all about, is bringing about awareness for obsessive compulsive disorder, OCD. You know, what I always tell my clients when we're working is that in becoming aware of the issues or the stuff that they're going through, it brings it out front. It brings it up from inside and brings it out so that we can see it. And through seeing it, then we can actually start working on it. Then we can actually address it. You know, I find it interesting and kind of ironic how we call our issues, a lot of times we'll say, that's my stuff. Well, it's interesting to use that word stuff because that's what we do the majority of the time is we stuff it down inside of us. And with that, we can't really work on it. We can't really see it because it sometimes goes in a subconscious way. So I find awareness is so important in getting through what you have going for you. And so I think it's true also for the world to become aware of what OCD really, truly is. And so some things that you can do. First off, if you don't have OCD yourself, maybe it's somebody, a loved one or a friend or something like that, there are things that you can do to help others that do have OCD. First off, being understanding of what they are going through. Again, finding that awareness so you can at least understand it in a brief sense. And also through that understanding, you can then know what to look for, the signs that might be out there. You know, the hand washing is a big one, dried, cracked hands. Counting, talking to yourself, counting numbers, doing some habits that seem a little repetitive might be ways of being able to see and understand what's going on. Also, I think it's important for us that don't have OCD. I don't myself, but it was my daughter and my son, is to understand that when people say this phrase that I tend to hate, "Oh, that's just my OCD," or "I'm just so OCD about that," that those people really probably don't have OCD, because a person who has OCD really is not going to broadcast it, is not going to brag about that. So, and then you might be able to gently and compassionately inform them that that's really not what OCD is about. OCD is about anxiety. Spending 2, 3, 4, half a day fretting over something, anxiety, having anxiety over something for a long period of time. It's also being sympathetic to those that do have it, and knowing that they really can't control that, at least at the beginning stages. At some point they'll learn to manage it, hopefully. And being open not to judge. I talk to my clients about stepping into the other person's shoes. Even if it's just for a moment, even if it's just an imagination anyway. I mean, we can't really know what they're going through, but maybe we can imagine, or at least think about what might be going on in their head, what might be going on in their life that's causing them to be disruptive or to be angry or to whatever they're going through. So I find that really important, is if we can humble ourselves enough just to at least step into their shoes, even if we don't know what's going on, and take a moment, I think it can help us to sympathize, help us to understand. Now, if you have it, if you are an OCDer, an obsessive compulsive disordered person, then what I look at is saying that you can, first off, it's good to be aware and have an understanding of what you're going through. Some people don't know what it is, they don't understand what it is, they don't understand why, all of those things. So if you can understand it, it can also help you in getting the help you need. You can also spread the word about what OCD is and what it really does to you and what it is to live with it and how it can take over your life. And also, for those that have OCD, and even those that don't, that can spread this word, OCD is treatable. With things like ERP, sometimes medicines, sometimes other different treatment therapies. I work with a variety of them. It is treatable, and that's a message I think we need to get out that most people don't understand. They think it's going to go on forever. So make sure to get help. Find resources that can help you. They are out there, and it's sometimes a little difficult, but that's what I'm hoping to be with my Family OCD site, is a resource. And educate people. Educate those that you love, those that are your friends, that are family, that are whatever. Let them know. And also, for the person with OCD, try to have some understanding and some compassion for those that don't understand it, that don't get how painful it is. I know it's hard and it's not fair, but at least try to be a little more compassionate and not slash out at them. So what I'm hoping to do this week, the week of October 8th through the 14th, which is OCD week here in 2017, is to be able to put out a podcast each day. That's my goal for just this week. And I've got some good ones, so I think it's something to look forward to. Also, you want to find some local activities that you can get involved with, volunteer for. Find a support group in your area. Now, I will mention here is that you can also, by going to familyocd.com, you can register and become part of a group of my phone support. I do once a month, I have a phone support group that we just basically, it's an open conversation. It's OCD Conversations is what I call it. And all you need to do is register, and then from then on you'll get an invite each month to join it. So registration is just once, and that's at Family OCD. That way we have you on the list so that we can send you out an invitation when the phone support group is coming up. So I hope that this week can be a week of awareness for everyone. And I hope that you can help in spreading that word and spreading the idea of what obsessive compulsive disorder is about, and help others, uh, and even yourself, in really becoming engrossed in how to get past this. It is treatable. Again, I bring that up because most people don't know that. It is treatable, and get that word out. So enjoy this week and make it the best for yourself and for others. And keep tapping, and we'll talk to you soon. That concludes this podcast. Please leave me a comment or question below. That gives me good direction where to go on future podcasts. I would love to hear your invisible wheelchair stories if you're willing to share it. If you would, go to invisiblewheelchair.com and click on Tell Your Story. I want to remind you that OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, is treatable, and I can help you get past OCD. So if you have heard this podcast and others, and you feel like you need further assistance and would like to spend some time with me working through any issues you have, then feel free to book a session at focusedhealthyfamily.com or familyocd.com, or you can call me at 704-562-1630. I also offer $85 off initial discovery session if you mention that you heard it on this podcast. I hope you have enjoyed this podcast and will join me for the next one. Remember to keep tapping, talking, and transcending your life to new heights. Thank you, and have a great day.